Rembrandt is 55 years old here. This portrait was painted in 1661, and in it he depicts himself as the Apostle St. Paul. No other painter had ever painted himself so faithfully as he grew older over the years. You can see him age slowly in the chronological succession of portraits. But the light is very interesting in this painting. The way the light falls on the turban and on his face and his nose, and then also in the bottom right-hand corner on the text. It's very refined. The light comes over his shoulder and falls down onto the paper. And you can see Rembrandt's rough brushwork very clearly here, not because he worked in a careless, brash fashion. No, he was quite happy to let the brush strokes show through instead of making it neatly painted. If you now look on the right eye, you can see the marks of the brush on the cheek, you see? And the same under his nose and by the ear. In fact, by the ear I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 brown lines, you see? And if you stand back, these lines simply represent a shadow. Very refined, because he then obviously got a smaller brush and did some infilling. But the turban is truly unique. The paint applied in thick layers as the light falls onto the fabric. It would have had a similar effect if you held a candle by it. And those were the kinds of effects that he tried to achieve. There are also some areas in the turban where the paint has been applied very thinly, but you can almost feel the folds of fabric wound around the head. Look at his right eye. Underneath the eye, he's taken his brush and gone dot, dot, dot. You see, tiny pink dots. And again, a tiny pink dot under his left eye, by his nose. And oh, here, let's see. At the left-hand side of his nose, yeah, you see a tiny pink dot too. So, although it looks nonchalant, it has in fact been painted very painstakingly. The coat almost looks like a sketch because, of course, it plays no part in the story. The other interesting thing is the hand holding the paper. There's a sleeve sticking out from underneath the coat where you can clearly see the brush strokes. And then on the thumb you see again a very fine line of a thinner brush to show that that's where the sleeve ends. It's such an incredibly beautiful portrait. You stand back from it and all you see is actually, it's the head. The coat is not important. It's all about the head of a true master.